Hi, I'm James Lafferty, and this is CW Connect. The differences between my character now and 4 years ago when I graduated, there's a big difference actually. I think Nathan, when he was graduating at the end of last season, he was full of hope and ambition and sort of desire, and he had the world like sort of at his fingertips. And even though he was broken down a little bit from losing his scholarship, he had a really good outlook on life, and that no matter what happened, he could overcome it. And I think when we come back, Nathan's a little bit more broken. He's fallen on some hard times, and he's sort of gone back inside of himself and given up on himself, really. And in doing so, he's sort of given up on his family a little bit. So the Nathan that you're going to see when we come back is not quite as likable as the Nathan that you saw, last season or 4 years ago in the story. I don't think I really could have predicted where my character was going to go, when I first started the show. When I first started the show, Nathan was sort of just a villain, and I never had really too much reason to believe that he was going to show any more layers as a character. I was pleasantly surprised when he did, and now, after 4 years, and, going into our 5th year, I'd say that, the journey that Nathan has taken has been extraordinary, and where he's ended up now is, I wouldn't have predicted him to end up where he's ended up now, but I think that if you had told me he was going to end up here, I would have probably predicted that he was going to try to beat the odds and try to overcome it with the help of, people that he's closest to, because that's sort of his character and that's sort of what we've established over the years. Yeah, I think, Nathan's own parental issues have really taught him a lot over the course of the first 4 seasons, even in dealing with everybody. It's sort of taught him actually, how not to treat people and how not to act towards people, and what you need to do in order to, maintain a healthy relationship with really anybody, your brother, your friends, or your wife. And I think it's going to play a lot into, the way that he raises his son. I think he's going to see sort of the pitfalls and traps that you can sort of fall into that can turn you into a father like Dan, and he's going to try to avoid those in this season. It was interesting working with a baby. I've never worked with, babies before. And when we're talking about babies, it's like these kids are like 3 weeks old, a month old, something like that. So they can't even really focus on your fingers when you wave them in front of their face. So, it's cool. It's always fun to be around babies because they're cute and cuddly and everything. But at the same time, you got to wait for them to stop crying to shoot. You never know when they're going to be cooperating or not. And there's also probably 5 babies on set because they can only work about 2 hours at a time. So it definitely throws a little monkey wrench into it. It's interesting. Thanks for sending in all your questions. Be sure to check out the new season of One Tree Hill on the CW. Out of all the guest stars on the show, I was pretty excited to be able to go to Charlotte and shoot at the Bobcats game when the Bobcats played. I think it was the Blazers. And we actually got to meet Emeka Okafor, and he had a line or a couple lines on the show. And that was pretty exciting too, because I had just finished watching his stellar college career, and actually I just finished watching UConn beat Duke in the NCAA championship. That wasn't that fun, but I really respected him as a player, as a person, and as an athlete, and so that was pretty cool to be able to work with him and meet him and get a jersey signed and everything. Initially, during the first season, we decided it was, probably a good idea to give back to the community that has given us so much by, allowing us to shoot here, and all the local businesses that have been so good to us. We just sort of wanted to give back, and so we started with a local charity. The first season that we did, it was real small, and over the years it's kind of grown into something bigger and better, and we still keep it local, and it's some of the causes go a little bit wider, but I think it's been a success, definitely. And as far as if we're going to do it again, I don't really know yet. I think that really depends on how much longer we're here, which we don't really know that yet. So I think, if we do stay for a while, I would love to get the charity going again. I have a much bigger head now, and actually my ego has exploded. I don't even talk to my family anymore. As a matter of fact, I can't remember my brother's name, or if I even have, it might be a sister that I have. But, it is what it is. That's what happens when you're a big star.
All right, great.
Thanks for sending in all your questions. Be sure to check out the new season of One Tree Hill on the CW.